Hello everybody, back here again for our vlog of the day. And today is Monday the 23rd, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame. Buddy didn't go out riding his bike. I think the weather or some junk, I'm not sure what his reasoning was, but we didn't talk about it. But got up, got a few things done. Basically ate my last of my Casey's pizza, knocked that out, and from there just kind of chilling around a little bit for the morning. Got a text from my aunt asking me to call her when I had a moment, so I finished up my pizza and then I called my aunt, went outside. Buddy's working on his KTM, trying to get it figured out, and all the good fun stuff that comes with it, having issues there. So called my aunt, and she said they'd reached out to the locker that's processing my cow, and instead of being ready Wednesday, which was worst case scenario before, was what I was told, apparently somewhere in the communication had been whatever. They haven't even cut my cow up yet. It's been hanging this whole time. And then so they said they were hoping to cut it up today or tomorrow, so it should be ready Thursday or Friday. I'm like, so hope to be ready Thursday or Friday. And I'm like, God damn it. So I'm looking at the weather. We got a tropical storm that's fitting to turn into a hurricane that is it's coming up the Gulf Coast right now. It's coming up over the Gulf of Mexico, and the water out there is super hot this year. We haven't had any real storms down home to speak of, but it was predicted to be a much higher than normal season, and then it doesn't happen. So usually what happens there is it becomes a big one, and it always makes me nervous. So as of right now, if I pick up my cow Thursday, and if I get Thursday morning, I'm going to be getting home Friday at midnight at the earliest, most likely, kind of thing. And we look at the path, that's right where the hurricane's coming across. It's going to come up to the armpit of Florida and basically go right back out through Savannah, Georgia, where they're kind of predicting it, and I got to drive right through there. So I can't get home, and it could be a little early or it could be a lot late, because they usually don't pick up that much more speed that quick, but it definitely can slow down, which can keep me trapped out till Sunday, Monday. And then depending on how bad it turns into, we're getting crazy feeder bands down on my property, which can be a real issue, but also can tear up roads and whatnot, and everybody else who left to get away from the storm, all trying to get back in. So a lot of times you'll end up taking 2 or 3 times as long to get back, sometimes 5. I've known people who literally said it took them 2 days to get from Georgia back to middle of Florida. So, and that's a 6 to 8 hour drive, depending on what part of Florida you're going to. So I don't want to deal with that crap. And then you deal with all that crazy traffic pulling a trailer, and my trailer's not gonna have much weight in it with that cow, and the freezer doesn't weigh that much. So there's a good chance it's gonna get blown around if we have any, leftover storm if I get down there too early. So I decided I was gonna take off and just leave my cow behind. So I called my aunt when I talked to her about that. She said Thursday, Friday. I said, well, I'm leaving. Like, do what you want with the cow. I don't care. Like, I really don't give a damn. Like, whatever. So yeah, I'm just like, who gives a shit? Called my wife, told her what's going on. My aunt said she's gonna do some calling around, so she's gonna get a locker, see if they can get it cut up early. If they get it cut today and give it back to me raw, don't even freeze it out, I might be able to pick it up tonight, leave it out in the morning, but who knows. So I said to hell with it, and just kind of made that decision. I'm going home. Aunt called me back a little bit later and said she couldn't reach her husband, my uncle. He was out in the field and never takes his phone. He hates cell phones, so he doesn't have it with him. And locker won't answer the phone because nobody's answering. I assume they're busy or who knows what. So we can't get on anybody to even see if they can cut it up early. And I told my aunt, I'm like, I'm paying for it. Like, don't worry about that part. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care about the money. Just tell me how much it is, and I'll give it to you. And if we need to give it away to homeless people, we need to give it to somebody who's, working hard, doesn't have any extra food, whatever, I don't give a shit. Or if you want to store it until I get a chance to get back up, which will probably be like a year from now. And it seems to make no sense to leave a freezer full of meat in the barn for a year for no reason. So, and my big thing is, the money's a lot of money, but it's not the end of the world. But what's really gonna piss me off, I spend the money, it sits in the barn, and then somehow it gets unplugged or power outage or God knows what, the freezer dies. They don't know it, and then we throw away, and this cow died for no reason. Nobody got to eat it. That's the waste. I hate waste in the world. So yeah, there's that. So I said to hell with it and just said, I don't care, I'm going home. So talked to my buddy, told him what was going on. He was like, man, I understand. I wish you were staying a little longer. but I understand. I want to get back. I have the only generator we own is down at the farm right now. I gotta go pick it up because we lose power here in Florida. My wife won't be able to, I gotta get home and take care of her, for one thing. Two, she won't have a generator to run, so we're gonna lose all of our food, everything we have at our place. And between my house and my father-in-law's house, there's more money, probably as much in our freezers than what I have in this cow. So at this point, I don't care. So basically reached out, packed all my shit up, load the car up, gave my buddy a hug. Actually, I gave his father a hug. He's coming out, heading to the smoke shed. Told him I was taking off. And as I was leaving, I gave my buddy a hug. Told him I loved him. Told him thanks for all the hospitality. And I headed back towards the town where mom's at. Texted my mom and said, hey, I gotta get down and pick up the trailer, which is down at her sister's house at the farm. I said, do you want to ride with? She said, sure. So I went and picked her up, which is a little bit out of the way, but not the end of the world. Probably cost me 25 minutes of my day, but it all adds up. So I then head down to the farm to get the trailer. Reach back out to the couple I'm selling one of my houses to here in Florida, or that I'm selling here in Iowa to. They're making payments on the bank, basically what it is. So I sold them the house. They're still paying. They got 4 or 5 years left to pay. So I had a bunch of lumber that, like big slab wood and stuff, that was in my garage when it burned, that were soot damaged and stuff, but not burn up. So I stuck it in one of the other houses next door. It's a side-by-side house setup. So I stored the lumber in there and then told them, hey, if you need this out of the way, if you start to remodel this house, if you get to it beforehand, feel free to go ahead and move it. But if you can store it for me, I'll come pick it up eventually. It's been 4 or 5 years now. So finally I picked it up. So I texted him and said, hey, I know it's super short notice. I know it's a long shot, but is there any chance anybody's around? I want to go pick up that lumber. I got space in my trailer because I was planning on taking it home this trip anyway. I hadn't reached out to him because I was going to be here another week, at least till Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at the latest. And this is Monday. So she said, yeah, actually, that's fine. My husband's there. I will basically know you're coming. I said, sweet. It'll be like an hour minimum, maybe 2 hours maximum. She said, perfect, not a problem. So I went ahead, went down to the farm, grabbed the trailer, and had the freezer and stuff in it, and whatnot, my generator and stuff. And it was heavy enough. They don't put jacks in these stupid U-Haul trailers. I couldn't lift it up. So had to go in and get the floor jack, the big tractor floor jack, out of the shed or anything, got it lined up. Got the trailer on, got it all tied up, chained up, tightened down the ball hitch, all that good fun stuff. Went ahead, unloaded my stuff onto the ground, turned the trailer around, backed up against the barn. And I was trying to back it into the barn, and I was like probably 7 feet away. Mom screamed, stop! And I'm like, what the fuck? Carolyn goes, what are you doing? She goes, that's close enough, ain't it? And Carolyn's like, no. I'm like, I want it in the barn. And she goes, oh, okay. And I'm like, why so fucking dramatic? Like, holy shit, man. I thought I was running over a puppy or something. I was like, Jesus. So I backed up in there, and freezers nowadays weigh nothing. They're just cardboard and tin. There's nothing to them anymore. So I went ahead, slid it out by myself, got it. I said, hey, do you want it up on the pallet? Got it on a pallet in the trailer. So I could get a forklift once it's full of cow. I could just put a forklift underneath it and drag it out. And she said, no, Claire will move it where he wants. I don't know if he wants it stored on the pallet or not the whole time. So I'm like, cool. So we put the pallet up against it. Taking care of everything. She gave me a photo that she had custom matted. It's my grandparents, her parents, her brothers, and my mom and her graduation photos. Basically on the outside 4 corners. Well, I guess technically my mom's graduation. She didn't actually graduate, but senior photo. Then below my grandparents is the 4 of them. Rodney, my mom, Carolyn, and my grandfather together in one family photo that I now have now. So we stuck it in the car as well. My grandmother had died when my mom was like 9, and then her brother drowned just shortly out of high school. So there's only the 3 of them left, the 2 sisters and my uncle. And then my grandfather died when I was a young boy as well. So none of them, there's only the 3 of them left. So I never met Melvin, never met my grandma, and knew my grandpa a little bit. I was pretty young when he went, so yeah. But now I have that nice big matted picture frame to hang on my wall that my aunt had done a while back. And she asked me if I wanted it if something happened to her. And I said, sure, thinking she meant when she died, just write my name on the back of it, and I'll get it after she dies. And apparently she thought I meant I wanted to take it home right now, so she brought it out to me. But it is what it is, so all was good. From there, got the trailer all loaded up, put all my stuff back in it, and headed to town. Went by, grabbed my lumber that I was storing. I asked Mom if she'd be willing to sit at the park, wait for me while I ran, because I didn't want to drive out of town, drive back to the park. She said yeah, so she brought her book with her. So I don't know if it's like a reading book, a Sudoku book. I don't think it's a Sudoku book, but so she brought it and basically sat there while I went and ran by loop. That's a nice little, probably about a little over 5K. So I ran that loop. It's where I used to run quite often when I still lived there. It's where my buddy and I ran our first 5K. He came over and ran it with me. The first time he'd come and run in Centerville. So we ran there and got my run done, got my car, headed over to the house, my mom's apartment, not a house. But got to the apartment, grabbed myself a shower, and had all my stuff loaded up, the totes and stuff, everything I was taking back. And got down there, grabbed 2 bottles of water from her, and headed out, jumped in the car. From there, headed over to Hy-Vee, which is the grocery store there in town, grabbed myself a gallon of chocolate milk and 3 giant containers of French onion AE dip, because AE makes the best chocolate milk and the best dip in the world. And I've had dip and milk literally in a bunch of places, and it's by far the best. So yeah, that's what it is there. So grab those, chuck those in my freezer / on the fridge side of it, and headed home. So rolled down through, got to Kirksville, Missouri, which is about an hour south of where I grew up. And I was looking at the map for the weed dispensaries, because up there recreational is legal. And I thought, well, what the hell, I'll stop in there and see. So it was 6 minutes round trip. It was 3 minutes off the highway. So pulled up in there, and as I was pulling in, my wife called me to talk, and I'm like, oh, can I call you back? I'm kind of in the middle of something right now. Like I was getting traffic and stuff, trying to get in there hang. So went in, bought myself some bunch of weird shit, like tingers, and I bought some capsules and things I want to try that I've been trying to get my father-in-law to buy me for, I don't know, like a year now, and he keeps bringing the wrong shit home. So, and I gotta find out there's a THC product that'll work for me, because I've tried chocolate THC, and I've tried it in gummy form, and it doesn't do shit for me. Tried it multiple times with the gummy form, medical grade, so real shit. They said take like 5 milligrams. I took 20 to start with, and nothing. A few days later, tried it again. I took like 40. I was at 65 milligrams, and eating fatty stuff, trying to make it work, everything it said you're supposed to do. And then it finally kicked in like 4 hours later, and all I had was sadness and regret and everything. So I thought, well, let's try some other products. And also I thought, well, if that's supposed to be the happy stuff, and it makes me super sad, if it makes you all paranoid, I'm gonna try the hyper stuff and see what it does for me. So yeah, I bought some of it. Him bought a fresh roll, just because I've never tried to smoke weed in my life, and I don't know if I can inhale in my lungs without coughing and dying, but I'm gonna give it a try. So chucked that in the car and headed home, talked to my wife, and then I basically didn't partake in nothing in the car while I was driving, clearly, but just started driving south again. Tried to find a Taco John's. Nearest Taco John's off my route was like 20 minutes one way, so 40 minutes round trip. At the trailer down through Columbia, Missouri, traffic and stuff. And I said, fuck it, skip it. So I didn't get Taco John's this trip, but it is what it is. So I just kept on driving, ended up on a little bit different route coming down than what I did going up, and just drove and drove. And it was getting dark, not quite dark, but getting in that sun's going down range. And it started raining really hard at one point, and everybody drives 3 wide apparently when it's raining real hard, and they drive 20 mile an hour, turn on their flashers, they sit side by side and block everybody else like they're the damn safety police. So I said, fuck it, I'm not driving 20 mile an hour behind people with their flashers on, because 1, if we'll get ran by people coming up behind us, and 2, it's gonna take me 3 days to get there. So I'm like, look at the map, saw how big the radar was for the storm. I pulled in the next stop that looked like it was a safe place, and just tilt my seat back, closed my eyes, shut the car off stuff, cracked the windows, looked at rain guards, and just closed my eyes for, I don't know, hour and a half, maybe something like that. Rain cut up enough that I thought it looked like the radar was good. Pulled back on the highway, perfectly clear. So I'm like, hey, get my eyes closed for a little bit, and missed most of the weather. So kept on driving, got, I don't know, near midnight probably, and nothing major else happened. Rest of the trip, just driving. And you get close to midnight, and it just torrential downpour hits again. Pull up the radar, and it's gross looking. It's pretty big. So I pull off into a Cracker Barrel, newest Cracker Barrel I had, and they'll let you park camp, RVs, vans, that kind of stuff, and Cracker Barrel overnight. So pulled up in there a little bit before midnight, and basically I'm not sure what time it was, 10:30, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there. Not even sure what time it was. And again, tilted my seat back and closed my eyes and said, oh, I did reach out to my wife, let her know where I was at, let her know I was turning my phone off and all that good fun stuff, so she wouldn't be trying to call me and she wouldn't be worried. So yeah, that's pretty much what I had there. Pretty much it for the day. So that's all I got right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.